Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. And today's video is going to be a little bit different from the previous video. In the previous video, we dealt with Node.js. I had a lot of fun making it. And in today's video, I am going to provide a little bit of a walkthrough on a project that I have been working on. Uh, I will say like how this idea came to me, why even I started working on it, and how can you try a very simple version of this project. So first of all, let me share my screen. As you can see that this website is just a gateway. It doesn't have much, right? It's not very interactable, but this is like dictionary kind of thing. I mean, before that I should tell a little bit about the project. The project is basically a DIY version of Tailwind that I have been working on. And why I have been working on this project is just that recently I have learned a lot about Tailwind, and also I've learned a lot about JavaScript and how to manipulate the DOM using JavaScript. So it got me thinking ki, hey, Tailwind has its own classes, and those classes, our browser or no one understands what those classes mean until and unless they are going to take those class and remove them, and in place of them inject proper CSS for that particular object. And that got me thinking ki, can I do something not as complicated as it, but somewhat close enough to it on my own. And henceforth, this entire project came to life. This particular website is nothing very special. It's just a dictionary. As you can see, it just shows that, hey, this particular class is there. If you use this class in your particular HTML project, you will do this. So chai-r-lal will make your text red in color as shown, or hara will make it green in color. If you want to give a border, you can give it like this, chai-b-solid. And if you want to give a color to that border, you can go like this. So it's just a dictionary. It's nothing very complicated. Now, this is not the actual project. The actual project is in my text editor. So let's actually go to my text editor first. Okay, so now that we are in our text editor, I think that first I should introduce you to the actual library of classes that I created. So that I have created inside of assets, and inside of assets, I have this particular JavaScript file, which is the style object.js. And inside of it, I have not done much. I have just created an object, as you can see, and this particular object contains keys and their corresponding values. What they do is that, hey, if user use this particular class name, then replace that particular class name with this particular CSS. Right? And similar to this, I have created many of these particular classes. You can go through them if you want to. And once this particular object is created, I have exported that object from here. That's about it. That's what my entire styling system or my entire library looks like. Now, how did I parse from the HTML document, access elements, and inject the CSS into it? That is the interesting part, or that is the main focus of doing this entire thing. How does a parser might look like in JavaScript? So this is the first version of the parser that I created. It is nothing fancy. It's just whatever came to my mind, like just instantly is what I did here. First of all, obviously, I had to import the style object from my previously shown style object.js. And then I created, not created, I accessed the body element, just the body. So in HTML, we all know there is a body tag. So here in const body, I just held the document.body. Awesome. So now I have access to the body. Now, what I want to do is check that, hey, does this particular body tag contain any classes in it? And how did I do it is I created this one, which is, yeah, const style element. Yes, this one. So const object, and what the object holds is that inside of the body, do you have class names, right? So class names, what it does is that, hey, if body has something called class equal to anything inside the code, that entire thing, whatever is inside the quotations, will be returned to me if I use dot class name inside of the object. So the object holds a basically a huge strings, right? With class name space, class name space, class name, like that. So once I have this, it looks something like this. For example, let's just say r-lal, then b-lal. And once we have the access to this entire string, what I did was I splitted the string with respect to this, which is the empty spaces that I have splitted the string. Once I've splitted the string, I have an entire array of classes. One class at a time, I have them comma separated values of this particular classes in an array. Once I have this array, it's quite simple. I just wrote a for loop to go through the entire array and access each of the elements one by one. Inside of the for loop, I have just accessed each of the element in the item and I have checked, hey, object, by that I mean style object, do you have anything called item inside of you? Any key named item inside of you? If you do, I need it. Now, how have I appended it, or how have I like injected the style into the HTML document? That logic is here. I have created an empty string here. As you can see, let CSS string is equals to blank. And inside of this blank, I have just appended something like this, key, okay, this particular object or this particular thing is only for my body. So body inside of bracket has this particular style. Okay, so what it actually looks like, it actually looks like this. If I write it like this, it would be much easier to understand for anyone. So I created this particular body element, and inside of this body element, I just took, let's just say after matching, the value I got is this. So I just took it and I appended something like this inside of the um, class CSS string. And after this entire thing was done, this is valid CSS. We all know that, right? And after this entire thing was done, what I did was, yes, I created an element over here, this one, the const style element, which is basically a style tag, right? And inside of that particular style tag, I just appended my CSS string, and that style tag was then appended to the head. Give a little bit of a demonstration. What happened was, he let's just say this was the CSS text that I created, right? CSS string that I created. After creating that, I created something like this: style and backslash style, right? And let me show, whatever this particular CSS string was, I put it inside of here. So what I basically did was I took this style, I put it there, and I took another style, I put it here. So this does look like a style tag that we would have used in HTML. And then I took this entire thing and I appended it to the head tag. So let's just say there was the head tag, which is the head tag, and here is the backslash head tag. I just appended the entire thing at the very end of the head tag, and that just made it like a CSS style sheet style object. That's how the first implementation was there. But as you would imagine, this is not the very or not the most optimum implementation, because obviously, if you look closely enough, this only changed anything for body. If there was something for paragraph, if there was something for div, headers, footers, nav bars, any of them, none of them would work this way. And henceforth, this particular idea was scrapped later on, because for obvious reasons. Because if I start writing for each and every class, the code would get extremely cluttered. And not only that, if there are custom classes used, I won't be able to parse them. So that is why this idea was scrapped. And I came to version 2.0 of my parser, which is inside this, which is this final script.js. Now, inside this, I did interesting thing. So previously I accessed one element, which is the body. Now I'm accessing basically every element. So I use document.querySelector all star. Star means inside of your HTML file, or inside of your DOM. If whatever tags are being used, I want all of them. If the HTML tag comes in this, head tags comes in this, body tag comes in this. Any tag you have used, I have it inside of here, right? So this particular line, or what all elements hold, looks like an array containing all the tags that are there inside of the DOM. Now, I have all the particular, so let me again So, okay. So I have, okay. So inside of that particular object that we created, I have, let's just say tags like HTML, then I have head, then I have title, then I have body, and so many more, right? So these are inside of an array, right? Okay, so I need to access each and every element in order to access the class list that might be inside of these element. So that is exactly what I did in here, is that I started looping through the elements and I accessed each of these elements here. So first I picked up the HTML tag, right? Now, when I have the HTML tag, the next thing I want to do is check that, hey, do you have anything inside of that class list? That is why I created this one. Const class list holds any kind of class that that particular tag has. So let's just say I'm inside the body tag. If the body tag has anything with class equals something, then that will be accessed from or inside the class list. And then I wanted to loop through each tag inside of the class list. So I did that exactly. So class list dot for each. Every tag that is inside of the class list, give that to me, right? And give that to me. And I want you to give me access to the corresponding CSS of that particular tag. Now, this is something that I did in order to remove redundancy in it. What I did is I started checking. Key. Okay, have I already seen this particular class before? Right. That is what I created a set, which is let already added set new set. This just holds any class that is already added into my script. Right. That's about it. Nothing more than that. This is only done to remove redundancy. For example, if some element has already used the tag to implement red color and some other elements want to do the same, then there is no point in writing them or appending them multiple times. Have I already added it once? Yes, leave it. Don't add it again. That's why I have this one key. Yes, already added set. Do you have this particular element already? If so, then don't append it, right? So that's this part is for redundancy, and this part is our exactly what I did in the first version is does my object has this? If so, then give me the equivalent CSS file. Over here, I added the CSS file inside of my CSS string and did the same thing. Although I have to say one thing, this implementation is a little bit different. Let me actually show you how. So remember in the previous implementation, we created this CSS string inside of the style. Now this CSS string looked like something like this. The dot body inside, there was something, right? There was some kind of text. But this time, it's a lot different. This time, what I did was this is the same. This will remain the same. But instead of adding something like this, I added something like this. Yeah. If you have class called dot chai hyphen r hyphen lol, then for this particular thing, just make the color equal red. That's it, right? And henceforth, I was able to do the entire check as well in the set. Ki, hey, have I already added dot chai hyphen r hyphen lal? If so, then don't add it again, right? The rest of the implementation is same. And that is how I created the parser. And yeah, it does that. It adds CSS to your body or to your HTML. Now I will give a little bit of a demonstration of how it works. So I have created an HTML file. It just has nothing. It just has the H1 with this one. So hello from here. Oh, nice spelling. Hello from here. And I'm going to host it. Not host it. I'm going to yeah, open with live server. As you can see, there is no style in here, right? Okay. And we want to add some style to this, right? Let's just add the first one that comes to our mind, chai hyphen r hyphen lal. As you can see, the text color is red now. Not only that, I can give any class I want to. For example, I want to give border. So I can do this one, chai hyphen b hyphen solid. I'll just copy it and I can use it here. space control V. And if you go to our website, see, it has a border. Now, like that, you can manipulate it as much as you want. This was just a walkthrough. Oh, important point. If you want to try it, you can actually. You have to just go to my GitHub account. In the GitHub account, you will see the assets folder, right? Download it as it is and include it in your project. Okay. And also, you will see the logic code. This particular logic code contains the parser, right? If you choose key, I will just add this logic code and inside I will add the final script.js. That's fine. Inside of your main HTML document, you have to link it in the script. So if you have to put script, put type module. This is important. You have to put type module, otherwise it won't work. And in the SRC, put the path to this particular final script.js. And once you have done it, you're free to use it as you want. It is available on my GitHub. Do go ahead and check it out. With that, the walkthrough is over. Hope you people enjoyed it. Hope you people would go and check out the project. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.